Hello. Hi. This is the start of a 50-day visibility challenge. Yeah, we are live here from London. We're actually not live, this is pre-recorded. But maybe some of these will be live. More to come. Anyway, got inspired from where I just came from. I spent 3 weeks at Osho Lila, a couple hours outside of London, and a few people there are doing or have done a visibility challenge where they challenge themselves to put themselves out there in whatever way is not so comfortable. And it just resonated with me, especially because I have not been putting myself out there generally for the last few years. It's been a deep time of inward, looking inward, and honestly a super depressing time, a really, really hard time, and a really important time. And so what I realized is that I feel that one of my big missions in the world is to honor authenticity and to spread authenticity by allowing people to feel good as they are. One of the small ways in which you may have heard me do it is where I can already judge myself for this being more than 2 minutes. Me being authentic right there, where if someone doesn't reply for me a long time, I say, please don't feel any pressure to reply by a certain time. Like, just be authentic to yourself. If it's authentic to reply right away, reply right away. If you don't feel like replying for 2 weeks, a month, don't reply, please. Like, just follow that authentic impulse, the spark, the just the free flow. And so I'd like to honor that by allowing myself to flow freely in these videos. It'll be very interesting to see what comes out. And so just most importantly, the intention setting here is to just be authentic. And hopefully that just spreads, that ripples to authenticity everywhere. And I know there are moments where I won't be authentic. I'm even just like being, there are even moments where I'm not being authentic. And if you catch it, call me out. Like, no, that's not authentic. So I very much welcome that. And I just have no idea what these 50 days will bring. But I do know that many of you who might be watching this have no idea what's happened to me either in the last few months, few years, 10 years maybe, especially if I put this on Facebook, which I will. You may have no idea. So I thought the first thing, as authentically as possible, speaking from the heart, that's another big intention, another thing that I've been really learning, practicing, is that I can give you an update, and very much also what is needed, what I really need right now. Another authenticity thing is being able to speak my needs. What I need right now is I really need guidance, and you'll understand why in a moment. So where to start this story? I guess I'll start the story in the fall of 2019. Some of you know I was in Shanghai at that time doing a Master's of Social Work at NYU. And I had a really hard time that first semester. Really didn't feel like I fit in, that this wasn't the place for me. The questions being asked in the program were not the real questions I really, really wanted to be asked. And And anyway, I remember walking down the street from the campus to the subway, this big wide street in Pudong, for those of you that know it, and just it was after a week of I was at a yoga meditation retreat, and I was really debating about whether to stay or leave the program, and I remember just like allowing that thought in of like, oh, what if I take a leave of absence? And my whole body was like, oh, so nice. So that's when I knew, although I didn't actually make the decision for many months later. And what happened was I was really starting this quest of following my intuition, and I went to Taiwan for a few days, and then later got to Thailand, and in Thailand I did a 3-week meditation retreat recommended by my dear friend Amitai. And during that retreat is when COVID really broke out in China. So long story short, I got out of that retreat and took a few days to retreat from the retreat, and then I immediately flew back to the U.S. and I left the program. Then I chose to leave the program, and and of course COVID followed to the U.S. and everything shut down, and I shut down, very much shut down for the greater part of 2.5 years, and there's really not much I'd like to say about that time, other than I know it's a really important time. Got introduced to Carl Jung at this time, thanks to my amazing mom. And by the way, if you see me rubbing my leg during these videos, that's very normal. That's me being authentic to taking care of my body while I do something that is not easy. Anyway, I'd like to keep this around 10 minutes, so to keep going here. Yeah, so the most important experience, one of the most important experiences I've ever had in my life was going to a plant medicine retreat this past summer, where it just completely blew me open in essentially all the best ways, although not easy. And at that time I'd already bought a plane ticket to Israel. So it was hard, but I kept the plane ticket and I left. I left on what really needed to be a healing journey. Because I just kind of got blown to pieces. But I did not fall completely apart. And that's really what I'm needing, is to find a safe space to really, truly fall apart. So I've been on a journey of that, and I was in Israel for 3 months. I used every day of my 90 days of the visa and met some incredible humans. I went to some beautiful places, but I think Israel is just a bit too much for me overall. And the journey was really to find community where I can feel safe, or places to feel safe. And so, recommendation from a friend from that retreat, I went to a intentional community in Portugal about a month ago now called Tamara. And that was an absolutely amazing experience, and perhaps in another video I'll say more about that. And then after, I ended up, through a lot of synchronicity and incredible just listening in deeply, I ended up at another intentional community in the UK called Osho Lila, I mentioned. And I just left there yesterday. I think I also mentioned at the beginning. So, yeah, that's the story. And I'm now in London. And we'll continue this tomorrow. So thank you so much if you've made it through all 10 minutes. Really, really, really thank you. I feel like the authentic thing would be not to hold myself back to a time limit and just let myself go. But well, we're over 10 minutes now, so. Alright, well, the authentic thing that I want to do is to just take a breath. And if it's helpful for you right now, if you actually are still watching, I encourage you to do the same. Alright. Yeah, we're good here. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening and witnessing this. And let's go for a wild ride. Let's make this video 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Bye.